Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you all for joining, seeking your blessings to cover this respect without any false prestige. Let's start with the prayers. Om Agyantimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सवना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमां विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे पञ्चकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चना गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे गम करोति वाचालं भंगुं निगायते गिरं यत्कृपा तमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरो दीनतारिणं परमानन्द माधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम् हरे कृष्णा. So I'll start with an apology for not preparing nicely for this amazing topic and also with gratitude for all your time. Thank you all for joining. I will share my screen and enter the presenters notes. So yeah, this is the quality number 20th, if I'm not wrong. So the Sanskrit word of this quality is amani. So you might be remembering where we have commonly heard this. Pranadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnana mani navanadena kirtanya sadahari. So last week we talked about respect, and Ashwarya Mataji very nicely she brought up points like what respect means to us and what respect is, how do we feel, and she brought up several points. So today I'm not probably going to talk for an hour. It's going to be a short class again. Me being underprepared. And I would really like to keep it more interactive and some questions that I know that we cannot immediately answer them deeply, but something that comes on the top of our head based on recent situations or anything like that comes to our head, like on the surface of our heads. So, yeah, starting with some questions. Chalo. Okay. So, when someone hurts your ego or respect, what exactly gets hurt? Like, if you can take a minute or something, like, what is in there that feels hurt? Like, is it the heart? Is it the body? Is it, does your hand start hurting? Like, what is it when someone hurts your ego or respect or anything? Like, you felt like something within you is being hurt or you're not being respected. Like, what exactly does it hurt? Where does it hurt? Like, is it the soul that is hurting? Is it a service that are doing, be it material or spiritual, whatever it is? Or is it any identity that we have become attached to? Like, what exactly hurts? What do you feel more resonated with?
I think the identity, like if someone says, "Oh, you, I don't know, you're so irresponsible," I'll be like, oh no, but I'm responding. Like yeah. So I think the identity.
Yeah. So yeah, when I was going through this, I was remembering Chandramouli Maharaj. He recently gave this class, and he was talking about Shiksha Ashtakam. And when he was talking about respect, he was talking about basically giving respect is slightly easier, and then not expecting any respect, it's very tough. And that brought me to this question, like, what is respect? What, like, respect, I felt, is very subjective to everyone. Like, what might be respectable for me might not be respectable for you. So yeah, it's the individual identities we might become attached to. And then, so if someone, yes, Tikman Kapal Prabhu.
Sorry, just on the last question, identity is something that is um, I mean, to hurt our identity, it's very difficult and it's not that common usually. Of course, underlying everything is the misidentification that is there. So, in that sense, our identity gets hurt when someone hurts our ego. But on the surface, it's more in terms of, how I want things to be, or how like my idea of sense gratification, right? If that is what gets hurt, then that is if that is what gets pricked, then that is when we, at least on the surface level, that is what I think, when my idea of enjoyment or my idea of what is right, that gets. And then of course, uh, it's not that somebody will, every time when somebody does something against what we think, it's not always a target on our identity, but then it's more often the target against our ideas, our and then yeah. So yeah, actually, Anita Kishori Mataji, yeah, I am temple president. How can she talk like that to me? Yes, yes.
Mm,
Underlying everything is identity, but I guess on the surface it might manifest as a different thing. So just
mm, nice, Fuji. Yeah, we'll come to that, like going little bit deeper, not very deep. But yeah, when so Suman Mataji, when you say, like, thank you all for like responding in chat. Thank you, Nitya Mataji, and thank you, Suman Mataji. So Suman Mataji, when you say mind feels the pain, what exactly in the mind? Is it the brain, the
Any,
concrete brain? Yeah.
not the brain, actually, mind, right? I mean, if somebody is not nice to you, they say, man dukha diya, man maine dukha diya, ja mera dukha diya. It's a mind that you don't feel good, right? I mean, underlying, as Jagannath Prabhu said, its identity is a false ego that gets hurt. But
Mhm.
the symptom is that it doesn't feel good.
Yeah, like if we find time, me including myself, I would really like us to go like, what exactly do we mean? Like when we say our ego has been hurt. So like, yeah, going deeper to like, what exactly is being hurt in that situation? What do we mean by, what do we associate that word ego with? So yeah, thank you for your inputs. I know that requires like deep reflections too on my end as well. Like when I'll sit, it will come out and not immediately. It might take some time or long time as well.
I mean, false ego, right? We associate ourselves with the body. So it's related to false ego is related to body. Right? Like Nitakshri Malay said, I'm president. I have some position. This is bodies related to the body, identity of the body. I'm a president. I'm a vice president. I'm so and so. So
Hmm.
so that gets false ego gets hurt. But symptoms can be anything, right? As a result, one might feel don't feel good, or it could be anger, it could be disappointment. But at the root, yes, it's a false ego gets hurt.
Yeah, true. True, Mantaji. The false ego is the very root. But again, like knowing what false ego is, like the example Mataji gave, that's the best example, like of the identity part of it. But if right now, if you tell me like this question doesn't make sense, so it wouldn't be, I wouldn't like associate that with my body in particular. Like false ego. does not like I this is what I'm able to think right now. Like it's not always the body. Like so what part of me is will be hurt? It needs some like thoughts like ki if you tell me ki ye question, there's no sense to it. Like you're just wasting our time. For example, if you say that. So there will be something hurt in me. It wouldn't hurt me physically, but there would be something hurt in me. And it takes us like it will take me some time, like what exactly is being hurt? What is it? Some thoughts or notions or identity? So yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at. Like knowing the deeper meaning of false ego. Like what exactly gets hurt? Like that's what the second question. Yes, Saraswati.
So I feel I want to like protect this idea that, oh, I am a good person. So when
Hmm.
someone says something, that is what feels attacked.
Yeah. That very much aligns to the next question I was going to ask. Like when someone is criticizing me, what am I trying to protect? Like, am I trying to protect that reputation or my intelligence? Like, you are just directly attacking my intelligence, my position. Like, oh, I have been practicing for so many years. How can you even ask me? Or my identity as a good devotee or a good person? Like, what is being attacked here? All of the above. Yes, Mataji, to some extent, and depends. Like again, circumstances. And sometimes yes, the mixture of all of above as well, like knowing what is, and yeah, true, any of the above. So yeah, and there could be more things that we might be trying to protect, like apart from these four things. So I really like these questions. Like these are some reflective questions, like based on what false ego is, what is being affected, and then like nailing it down where it comes to, again, another question is similar to that. When am I most likely to become offended? Like, again, thinking about it, like, what are those situations when I'm most vulnerable to become offended? So, is it the times that I'm feeling really happy and really successful and I'm on the top of the world and someone comes and say, Ye kya pehna hai? Yeah, what are you even doing? So things like that, like thinking about these questions, what are those times when I feel offended or disrespected or something being heard or criticized? So yeah, these are some initial questions that I wanted to bring forth. And now getting a little bit deeper into today's topic, the questions are also like hinting towards this feeling of Amani, like this need of prestige, respect. So, Amani is the 20th quality of the pure devotee out of the 26 qualities. And Amani means without the false prestige. So, has been used twice, like with the same things. I don't remember what are those called. So with the same spelling and the same line over A and I, it has been used four times, twice in CC and twice in Srimad Bhagavatam. One of those is the one that has all the 26 qualities, and this one is in the context of guru and disciple. So yes, let's get into the literal meaning of Amani, which means without the false prestige. Yes, thank you, Broji, diacritics. So, what do you think? Like, what comes to your head when you think of prestige? Like, whatever you have thought so far, that whenever you think of prestige, this is the word, or this is the image, or this is the visual, this any circumstance that comes to your head when you think of prestige.
I feel anything that boosts our ego, boosts our identification, that is
Mm-hmm.
prestige. And why I say that, like I remember when I used to play cricket in school. That time I didn't have a kit for, like, kit meaning the pads and the bat and gloves and whatnot. I did not have those for many days, many months actually. And then I would always ask my father, please get it for me, please get it for me. And then But then my father would delay it, and then at one point I couldn't bear that I didn't have it. So then my mother actually pointed out the issue. She told my father it's a prestige issue for him. Please get him what he needs. So then
Mm.
prestige issue in the sense that I understood it as, yes, my identity that I am a cricketer, whatever I represent my school, and that identity would have that identity would have boosted because of me having the kit, and that is the reason, so anything, prestige means anything that boosts our identification, I feel. This.
Mm. Nice, Roji. Thank you. Nitya Mataji says status, and Suman Mataji says standing or estimation in the eyes of people. Nice. So yeah, when I thought of prestige, I do not use this word as much. So prestige came to my head. Oh, yeah. So as per Cambridge Dictionary, it means the respect and admiration given to someone or something, usually because of their reputation for high quality success or social influence. And as per the Oxford Dictionary, it means the respect and value that somebody or something has become because of their social position or what they have done. So again, like thinking about the questions that we were talking, what when someone hurts our ego, where exactly it hurts? Can someone insert the soul part of us? And like what are we defending when we are defending? What identities of our we are defending? So going to the even more literal depths of the word prestige. So this is all from, yeah, I forgot to mention, this is all from the book that Jagannath Gopal Prabhu shared by Satsarup Goswami Maharaj. And I'm really grateful to both Jagannath Gopal Prabhu for sharing it and Satsarup Maharaj for writing it. So this is from his book. So he mentions the prestige, it comes from the French word and it means illusion brought on by magic. So this was really interesting for me that the word itself, both in French and Latin, it means the juggler's tricks. So, if we think of our life, like what are some of the magic moments in our life that we feel really happy? Like, if I give one example, like winning something, winning a debate competition, or winning any competition. So, some of the magic moments in our life could be, again, like winning something, educational achievements, or love life, like finding a person. So there are so many things like, for example, when we receive applause, and again, the recognitions, and all these are juggler's tricks, actually. These are all happening on the material level of our life, hence the word for the prestige. Like, even before we knew the word Amani, like, this is all for new for me. I didn't even know that it means illusion brought on by magic or juggler's tricks. So when we think of, so the word prestige itself means that. So false prestige, when we talk about false prestige, what would false prestige would mean? So as per the book, Maharaj, he shares that false prestige, it's basically identifying with something temporary and demanding respect out of that. He talks about that false prestige can be considered in two ways. Either the objects, actually both, not either. So the objects of prestige are falsely prestigious. If a trophy is my object of prestige, again, it's falsely prestigious because it's temporary, it's not going to stay. Or a degree, it could be the like my master's, my PhD degree, or anything, or my followers on Instagram, or any recognition or any award that I have been given. So all these objects, they are the falsely prestigious objects, or our own claim that we are claiming that, oh, this is prestigious, or this position is prestigious, that is false. So bringing in the false part, that misidentifying with things, that these are mine and these are permanent, these are always going to stay with me, and demanding respect out of that, again, comes with the position as well, like the temple president, like holding that position as if it's permanent, or I always had it, and expecting respect as a reciprocation of it. So, a pure devotee, when we talk about a pure devotee, he is free of both kinds of these false prestige, both the objects and the claims. And the pure devotee is not attracted to these glitters and everything appearing so nice and wonderful. He is not attracted to these desirable material possessions. And I'm talking about the pure devotees here, and whatever is attractive, he acknowledge. So the Uttam Adhikari, basically, they try to like acknowledging everything as a reflection of Krishna himself and him being the attractive cause of all causes. So in our material world, we have divisions and we have categories in all kinds of, like, in all aspects of life, first class, second class. We have the uh, different, like here as well, black, white, racism. We have religions. We have all kind of these divisions, again, in different aspects of life. So, and even there are, even among devotees, we have some things that we think of auspicious, like dates and tithis, some muhurat, and something inauspicious. Mahaprabhu in CC, he says, like, in the material world, some things we do consider auspicious or inauspicious, they are all inauspicious. So we try to make so many material distinctions in this world. And there is one story that Satsvarup Maharaj he illustrated in his book, like to differentiate, like to talk about these material distinctions on different way, so many levels we make these distinctions. And he talks about this story that is about man who appreciated difference between stools. So dry stool and wet stool. So once a man he was walking on the road and he observed a pile of stool, and he was talking to his friend and he said the top portion of this stool is nice, it has been dried by the sun and now it's good, but the bottom part it's not good, it's still wet, so it's bad. But again, what is the, so Maharaj mentions, like in this story, like what is the significant difference? Both are stool, either the dry part or wet part, both are stool. So the material distinctions that we make, like auspicious, inauspicious, or the first class, second class, religion, caste, race, whatever distinctions we make, good, bad, right, wrong, everything is ultimately material. Like even if we accept it or not. So, possessing the best credit cards, if we are talking about, or having the Rolls Royce, living in the best neighborhood, living in the best apartments, having a beautiful wife, right friends, vacationing on the most exotic places, all these distinctions, they do not, like, even like with this example of dry and wet stool, whatever we are thinking that we have, we possess, and whatever like positions we try to hold on and like keep holding on to, they will not solve the problems of our birth, death, old age, and disease. So whether it's Tata, Birla, or Ambani, or kings or queens, everyone is going to die. Everyone's bodies are going to be buried or burned like anyone else's, and they have to face their karma. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he mentions that the more one makes material progress, so that's a strong statement. So he said that the more, and which is true as well, the more one makes material progress, the more he becomes like an ass. Like if I keep on gaining without giving and more material progress, I will keep on accumulating those things which will increase that false prestige. Yes, even as devotees, we hold on to identities. So true, Mataji. Would you like to expand on that? That's a great point. Like we think like getting into category of a devotee itself, we think that now we are rid of the material aspects and material possessions, but yeah, it's not so true. So yeah, if you would like, you can expand on that if you are in a
Yeah.
session. Yeah.
Um, yeah, so, we also have various levels. I know this person, so I'm associated with this person. This big devotee is my friend. Those are all identities. And then, I'm first initiated, I'm second initiated, I'm a disciple of such and such Maharaj, sannyasi, or I attended such and such yatra, so I'm the best. You know, so yeah, even those things. pretty much, I think anything that takes us away from the ultimate truth, um, that uh, that shows that the um that we are in control. No, showing that we are in control, we are the enjoyer, we are the proprietor. That makes us like these tool
Mm.
identifications. Even as devotees, that's what I think. Of course, we quote it in the name of devotees. We
Yeah.
quote it nicely. But inside, if we still think that mentality of I'm the proprietor, I'm the enjoyer, then we are no better than you know others. And the ultimate, as long as we are close to the truth that everything is for Krishna's sake, everything is done for if he's the enjoyer, I'm not. Then that is the real identity that we have to cultivate, I guess.
Very nicely mentioned, Madhavi. This is very, very important point that you mentioned. Like, even as devotees, and it's very subtle as well. Like, you wouldn't even know when it creeps in. And sometimes it's subtle. Sometimes I personally become like in denial of that. Like, being even in the category of a devotee is itself like possessing something prestigious. Like, yeah, devotee, non-devotee, karma. Even the word karmic names and yeah, all those things, like they all become the categories of it. And yeah, distinction. Yeah, I really like this tool example now. I don't know every single time, but sometimes when I try to make those distinctions, it will come to my head as well.
Actually, it's
Like both.
very gross and gross. It drives the point.
Yeah. Yes, both are still dry or wet. So yeah.
To me, the entire piece of stool looks dry here, but yeah, zooming in, it looks different. Any,
Yeah.
I totally agree with what Mataji mentioned, and I was just thinking that all these identities, if we just remove ourselves from the center, these same identities can become, our pathways to Krishna. Like I am a devotee of Krishna. If the I there is in emphasis, and not Krishna, and not
Mm,
then that becomes an issue. But then that same I am a devotee of Krishna, if I'm keeping Krishna in the emphasis of that statement, then that same statement can make us more uh, make us better devotees, I guess. I mean, done in a genuine way, of course. So not that I'm a devotee of Krishna, so I should be given everything I should. But then there again, the I comes. So
mm,
yeah, I just wanted to say that.
yeah. Yeah, it's again like it creeps in very easily. Like I remember like last like during the 60th, I have been using the word like a lot. So during the 60th anniversary, and Maharaj had this lecture. I remember I had this service at 26 Second Avenue, and after that, I had to come to Bhakti Center to like find a seat during Maharaj's lecture. And the thought it came to my head: we have been serving at 26. Like, it would have been nice if we would have found one seat like close to Maharaj or something like that. And then I caught myself thinking that thought, like again, it's again coming to that category of false prestige key. I have done this, so I should be reciprocated like that. Like finding some place, like little place to sit. It was like really mara mari there to find a seat at that time. And
Mhm.
so yeah, I realized like how easily, yeah, entitlement as well. Like I have done this, so I should get this. So that's something I was thinking about. And again, like coincidentally, whatever topic you give to me, I'm able to relate with it, and it helps me to like meditate on it as well, like based on the recent events as well. Even like a subtle thought that just crosses it. I could have ignored it, but yeah, I paid attention to it. Like, what am I even expecting? Like, where is it coming from? So
Just
yeah,
quick
those things help. Yes, yes, really.
to add, you see, this is an interesting point here because I feel it is reasonable to expect that somebody keep a place for you. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because if you don't expect, I mean, if you say that, no, I don't care, I get a place or not, and then, I'll just do my service, I'll come, whatever it is, that in that also, this prestige can creep in the sense that, okay, I am detached now. I am
Mm.
detached. I am above these, things. I'm just into my service. So that it's a very subtle thing, as you said, it can creep in from anywhere. And pride, yeah, prestige, pride, that can further reinforce that thinking. So now this is where it becomes extremely tricky. Sometimes you might have to, like, sometimes you have to come out of your comfort zone and say that, okay, no, I'll adjust whatever it is, but
Mm.
sometimes you might have to say that, nay, I really need this genuinely, right? You could even think like, I want to be, after a day of service, I really want to be absorbed in Maharaj's Vani. So that is why I need a place, right? So yeah, it's very tricky. I don't have an answer for this, but then I'm just thinking the other way around also. And
Mm.
that detachment can also bring about some pride. That, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the mood. Yeah, it's definitely the mood. My mood was not like aligned. Like I remember, like Nitya Mataji, she found me a place and she sacrificed her place for me, and I went and sat there. And then I was just thinking about it, like me and Saraswati we were both squished, and I was thinking about it, like before the thought I shared, and I was not feeling happy with the thought itself. Ki, what am I expecting? Like that's not the right thought that came in my head. So again, the entitlement part of it. So I was not in the right mood, but again, the perception. Had I been like thinking in that manner, ki I want to be absorbed, something like I would have felt a little bit pacified. But yeah, those thoughts of like being reciprocated and doing something and expecting any kind of those respect or again the prestige part of it, so that's what disturbed me in that thing, and it helped me like this topic when I was thinking about false prestige at, itself as a quality. So that's when I was paying even more attention to it, like where is it coming from and how can I go about it further. So yeah, that was some personal experience that I thought about when I was preparing for this. So yes, if anyone has any comments or questions, or else we can move
I
ahead.
just want to make you feel better by saying that I had the same thought. Boat festival. I was just telling Soham Prabhuji that, oh, we decorated the boat. We should get to get to Circle Radhamuni with that boat. So yeah.
Yeah, it's the mood. It's the underlying mood. So again, as Prabhuji said, the prayer or the desire itself is not wrong. It's just the underlying mood. Like, what am I asking? Like, what mood I'm asking that in. So yeah, exactly it's our intention. So is it? Wait, I need to read it. Is it our intention behind our actions that matter? External actions may have less importance. So yeah, true, Mataji. Like Krishna works in his kind of mysterious ways. Intentions are mostly like, of course, he sees our intentions over actions. So many pastimes are there where he sees the intentions more than the actions, but it's Krishna. Sometimes he sees the actions as well, like in case of Putna, uh, overlooking the intentions. Yes, Saraswati.
Yeah, that reminded me. Just कोई तो lecture में I heard when our intentions are good and our behavior is bad, Krishna looks at our intention, and when our intentions are bad and our behavior is good, he looks at the behavior.
Yeah.
ऐसे वो करते हैं. And for us, I think we need to for ourselves we need to look at our behavior, and for
Mm,
others we need to look at their intention. Because जब हमें कोई कुछ बोलता है तो हम ऐसे डिफेंड करने लग जाते हैं, अरे बट मैं तो ये चाहती थी, मेरा मतलब तो
yeah.
वो था. So for others we need to see their intention, and for ourselves we need to see their behavior. I had heard that recently somewhere, I don't remember where.
Yeah, it's a beautiful point you mentioned. Very nice. I guess Krishna did see the intention of Putna from her past life as Bali Maharaj's sister when she wanted to have Krishna as a child. So true. Yeah. Ultimately, he did see the intention. Yes. So, yeah, I really like these points. Suman Mataji, do you want to add something?
No, I just want to say, like, ideally, yes, both should be good intention and behavior, but then it depends on the context and the situation and time. Like, and in your case, you wanted a seat in the front. Your intention was that you wanted to listen to the satsang closely and pay attention. So you want to sit next to, right? So it's, you know, intention behind was pure, right? So behavior, I won't call it a bad behavior either to sit in the front. So I think it depends on the context and the time and the place how we behave, and the intention always needs to be good, right?
Mhm.
That anything that brings us close to Krishna, that behavior or that intention, uh,
Yeah,
and the external is going to be different. Circumstance and outer places and contexts are going to be different. So adapt, having that consciousness to adapt to those situations, right? Yeah.
true, Mataji. Yeah, very nicely mentioned. Like intentions. It's nice. I like the point you brought up about intentions, and I really liked how Saraswati mentioned about the importance of intentions and actions in Krishna, seeing those in different situations, and how we can look at it, looking at our own actions and the intentions of the other person. So, yeah, thank you so much. Going forward, so yeah, so this was false prestige that we talk about the categories and the objects they have, like yeah, the objects and or the positions. So there is this another category as well. Again, I am the doer. I am the one who did this, like trying to like crave for the credits for one's achievements. And Krishna, he mentions in Bhagavad Gita that he is the ability in man, that intelligence and memory come from him. So even the devotees and like we already talked about these situations when we are getting some recognitions or awards for our own like work or activities, but even the devotees or anyone pursuing transcendental life, they may falsely claim to be the doer or owner. Like in the beginning stages, the false ego, like neophyte devotees, like myself as well, it is so strong that there could be this impurity of thinking that I am now among the category. We already like talked about it a little bit, that now I am a devotee. Uh, I'm free from that world, or I'm little away from that category. I am doing these, I am doing my chanting, I am listening to the lectures, and now I'm learned. I have learned, I have read Bhagavad Gita, and I'm giving the class, and I'm initiated, like Nitya Mataji was mentioning, all these things. Like coming into that category of being of having that false prestige of taking credits and thinking ourselves as proprietor. Yeah, Nitya Mataji already mentioned these points. So Satswarup Maharaj, he shares one of his own personal story. And so it's in 1968. He mentioned that he had gone to the Boston temple, and he had gone to Boston initially to open a center there. And there he was doing efforts to open the temple. And after some of after some progress or something like that, he visited Srila Prabhupada in New York City, and he confessed to him that I have this bad habit, like mentally and verbally, that I try to take credit for whatever good thing happened. In that case, he was talking about the Boston Center. He said, he told Prabhupada that whatever a good thing happened, I want to I have this habit of taking the good credits of whatever is happening in the Boston Center. So Srila Prabhupada, he closed his eyes and he said that that feeling you have, that I am something, is not wrong, but you have to know who you are. When you come to the point of thinking that I am the servant of Krishna, then the ego is all right. This was very pacifying for me personally when I read like how Prabhupada addressed this. The again the difference of prestige, false prestige, ego, false ego, pride, false pride comes in here. So bringing Krishna, Jagannath Gopal Prabhu, Nitya Mataji, they already mentioned it, like bringing Krishna in the center of that situation. So even if the thought comes that I did this, trying to remember Krishna, that Krishna did it through me, or Krishna helped me, or I'm doing it for Krishna. So bringing Krishna in the center. So again, we are human beings and we have conditionings and everything. So these thoughts are normal. It's not that we can always try to be purified, or but again we can be inspired and inspired to be on that path where we can try to bring Krishna in the center whenever we feel deflected. And for me, it's most of the times. So yeah, trying to remember that Krishna is the proprietor. Krishna is a supreme controller, and I am his servant. So yeah, these words coming from Prabhupada, they were really hope giving. So, and then meaning true ego, I'm soul and servant of Krishna is okay to have. Yes, Mataji, as long as Krishna is in the center and as long as we have understanding that whatever is happening through Krishna, like even the bad times, like we are going to talk about when we lose prestige, whenever we lose something, there the thoughts come like, is it my karma? Is it like what is happening? So in those situations as well, there is one letter by Prabhupada. No, not one letter. I think it was a conversation in person where Mataji is talking to him and she's talking about her good and bad moments, like bad times when we think when the prestige is gone, when we lose something, like one match, for example, Argentina, they lost yesterday. So they might be feeling bitter about their loss because it might be like loss of prestige. We lost the respect and admiration kind of thing. So they might be booed or anyone elections winning candidate, or even the things that are like the political things that are going in India as well, or even here, like when we lose, when we something happens and we lose that respect, or when we feel criticized and lost, we might like all those things come in, like the anger, the frustration, the lamentation, all those things can come in, and the thoughts that even though it can be there back in the head, ki, I am a soul, but it's not easy to remember it during those times. So I think I need to put my laptop charging. Sorry. Uh, so yeah, during those times, so Prabhupada he mentioned we can be like the bird, the chataka bird, who who keeps on looking at the clouds for rain, and who so eagerly looks at the cloud for the rain. But the clouds, they do not always give rain. They sometimes also provide the thunderstorms. Similarly, like even with the things we have, the things we own, it's not always that they'll come with good things, like good feelings, and always we are going to get success and all those kind of things. There will be times that we'll not feel happy or good. There will be sad parts in our lives. So during those times, it's hard to remember the true ego or the true self, that I am a soul. It's not uh, the soul that is being hurt, or some things like the basic philosophy and basic these facts we can try to remember, but these are not helpful. But yes, trying to remember that whatever I'm getting, it is again trying to bring Krishna in the center, that whatever I'm getting, it is through Krishna as well. Prabhupada so sweetly in that pastime, he mentioned that Mataji asked, the Mataji he was talking to, she asked, do even the bad things come from Krishna as well? So yeah, Prabhupada gave the example of that bird that keeps looking at the sky for the rain, and the clouds. They also there is lightning and thunderstorm as well. So yeah, it's he said it's Krishna karma when we get the bad parts or when we lose prestige, and it's actually good to lose prestige so that we become the opposite of prestige, that is humble, developing that humility and trying, like, when we lose prestige, so again it depends, it's circumstantial. It's more, we tend to, or we get more inclined towards remembering Krishna and bringing him in the center. Like for there are many stories where people got connected to Krishna consciousness during low times of their life and relying on Krishna during those low times. So it is important that we lose the prestige that we have. We come into those situations where we face a loss, of where we fail in our lives. It's important to fail, so that again bringing Krishna in the center. But however, talking about a pure devotee, for pure devotee, Krishna, he mentions in the Bhagavad Gita that his dear devotee is equipoised in both honor and dishonor, fame and infamy as well. So, and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, he mentions that fame and material happiness are as valuable as the dung of a boar, again coming to that stool example. So, yeah, these are some things. Before we move to the next part of it, yeah, it's very hard to do. It's super, super hard to do, like to remain equipoised. And I like that part of me not being equipoised right now and being able to, like, express that sadness or lamentation. I do not see myself being equipoised right now. So, yeah, I would like to know, like, how you all deal, like, when your prestige is hurt, or when you feel that you have been criticized, or the ego or respect it felt, you feel hurt. Like, how do you deal with it? Like, for me personally, I do not remember Krishna immediately. I do, or either I'm angry with him or I'm just yelling or crying. So I yeah, if you feel, we can even stop sharing or pause sharing if you would like to share, anyone.
Can you repeat the question, ma?
How do you deal when you feel that, when you feel hurt, or the ego is hurt, when you feel sad, when we lose prestige, basically, like, how do
How
you,
to be equipoised, right? That's what
yeah.
it's a very tall order for sure. And yeah, I think definitely not there. uh, yeah, I don't have anything to say.
Not just equipoise, Mataji, like, how to try to bring Krishna in the center during these times, like right now I'm able to, like, tell about that bird, remember that bird, and remember Krishna karma. Like, when
Mm.
those moments when we feel hurt, the ego feels hurt, the prestige feels hurt, like,
Yeah, yeah, I guess it's okay, as long as we, when we um, get back our equilibrium or get back to stability, that we look back and do that, because we have not done that.
hmm,
Right? It's like we are in first standard and we've been given a PhD exam paper, right? We can't answer it right there. We have to practice. At least that's what I've come to realization, is that it requires maybe even lifetimes of practice, and uh, yeah, it's possible. Well, acharyas have shown that it's possible. So it must be possible. Definitely not there for me. Yeah, I think as long as we can, like retrospectively, if we analyze it and say, okay, this happened and then I reacted like this. But if we see it in a different perspective, you know, um, could be a lot of variables in the equation could be coming into play. Could be my karma, it could be something that I have to learn. Maybe it's a token, uh, punishment that I'm getting, maybe I deserve more. It's
Mm.
that, the Bhagavatam verse, Tattinu Kampam. And it applies for many situations, actually. Um, but I think all that is, I think it's not bad to express, anger or that emotion or whatever, sadness. I don't think um, that we can expect that level right off the bat.
Mm.
Actually, it is even healthier to express it, but then not holding on to it forever. That is the
Mm.
key thing. As long as we can release it and realize, okay, it happened, I did that, but this is my understanding right now, right? So we are
Mm.
rewiring the brain to think differently. So hopefully, when things keep happening and when keep rewiring and then build that neuro pathway,
Mm.
hopefully someday we can do it right there. I don't know. That is just my theory.
Yeah.
It's only theory.
Yeah. No, it's practice, 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 practice. And I think, yeah. Yeah, thank you for mentioning that, Mataji. Yes, Lekhaka. Hello. You are on mute, just mentioning. Okay, let me try that. Okay, yeah, Suman Mataji said
Uh,
certain things.
Hare
Yes, 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 Lekhaka.
Hare Krishna. Sorry, I was
Hello.
on an intermediate call. Hari Bol. Yeah, uh, I was very intrigued by your question. So, I just wanted to share something. And I actually was in a situation. Especially the past 2 months were very rough because I was in that situation where my prestige was like extremely hurt, and this time factually it was a wrong blame on me. It was like factually it was wrong. Like and then for me what really helped was definitely like um it's going to take few days to like get ourselves back, because in those 2 days, like exactly what you said, like screaming and crying or like being very very mad about it. But what I did was I had a recollection of like couple of incidents where I had done similar things to like others, where I had like hurt someone or like become situation or something like that. And I it definitely helps for me like think that okay, there's a lot of like karma getting burnt in this. And second is recently I've also been looking at these things as a win. Like I really think detachment, and when I say detachment I also mean like attach the correct things, but mostly detachment is a very very nice thing, although when we are going through it, it doesn't feel nice, like when we expect certain things from our friends, and like it doesn't show up. Or even in terms of family, you have certain opinion about like some family members because they're elderly but they actually prove otherwise and hurt you. I think it's actually a win because it's an opportunity for us to see whether we were wrong or whether they were wrong. And if we were wrong, we get, and if they were wrong, great. That helps you in terms of like detachment. And this detachment is scalable. Like this one experience will teach you detachment in like other areas of life as well. So recently I've started to see that as a win, but I don't know if that helps. But definitely also like okay, Krishna knows that I've been hurt, and if he's not doing anything about it, it means I need to like learn something. For me, that perspective has been slightly helpful.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, bringing Krishna in the center. Yeah, very, very helpful, Madhavi. Thank you for sharing. So, connecting it to Srimad Bhagavatam. So, did anyone in Srimad Bhagavatam have false prestige? Is everyone pure devotee there?
You have Suruchi, you have Nalakuver Manigriv, you have, I mean, so many are there, right? Indra, of course, Brahma.
Yeah, when I started thinking, I could remember so many pastimes that had the same theme of the starting with false prestige, leading to humility. Yeah. So yeah, I was able. Yeah, I also thought. Thank you for mentioning that. I didn't think of Suruchi, but yeah, Durvasa Muni is there, Indra is there, Lord Brahma is there, Daksha Prajapati is there, and I don't know. Ajanal, I don't know so much if he falls in the category of false prestige. But yes, there are so many examples following in the same footsteps. Even Shukracharya, he as well. So just taking like very briefly few examples, like a couple of those only, and just going zooming in a little bit on them. I didn't take one particular character for this quality. So talking about Indradev and the entire Govardhan Lila pastime. So Indradev, he was angry, like and okay, yeah, yeah, Indradev is there. So Indradev was angry, and when the residents of Vrindavan they stopped worshipping him. So it was threatened position, and he wanted recognition. And he was like, "How can Krishna? How can this little boy stop? Like, how can he convince them to stop worshipping me?" And all those things were there. So yeah, Indra. There are so many pastimes where Indra's false prestige comes in his way of his spiritual life. So this question was there that what did Indra lose first? Was it his power, like the prestige, or did he lose his humility first? So the false prestige, it makes us think if we try to connect it in our lives, like the situations where we feel hurt. Like the first false prestige, it makes us think like these people, they do not respect me. Yeah, I am not respected in this situation. And these people, they owe me respect. Again, that entitlement part comes in. They should respect me. However, humility is in the mood that everything I have is through Krishna's mercy, and I'm not able to relate it much to Indra's part of it. That again, the thing is that he lost prestige, and when he lost prestige, the thoughts that come to the mind first is the way we react further. So Indira's example, they continuously they give the example of the actions that he chose uh, after his he felt his prestige was hurt. So they all came down to owing respect to him, and with that thoughts, with those thoughts of entitlement or threatened positions or recognition, he acted differently. However, if we see in our situation, like later on, although like he realized that Krishna, it's all through Krishna, it's all Krishna, that everything is happening because of Krishna. So, yeah, in our lives as well, coming to the initial questions that we were talking about, and even something that we were just talking about a few minutes ago, that how do we react when we lose the or when we feel that we have lost our prestige in certain circumstance or situation. So remembering that, again, reinforcing the point of like good things coming from Krishna and bad things coming through Krishna as well, to make us realize that how how everything that we like, the dependence, our dependence and our surrender or taking shelter of Krishna. And something that Lekhaka was mentioning, like taking it as a win, that even these things, they are coming through Krishna, and Krishna is trying to teach me. Again, trying to think like what Sukava Mataji says, what Krishna is trying to teach me here. So yeah, false prestige, and again, like that point of losing the false prestige, and as Nitya Mataji was saying, like trying to rewire that, like what is it, and trying to bring Krishna in the center, and what how did I react in that situation? What could I have done better to like keep Krishna in the center. So I was thinking about it like this question, like what did Indra lose first? Was it his power or was it his humility or both? Maybe like he thought that he lost his power and hence his humility. Like not both, like it had to be subsequent and one came after the other. So yeah, Indra was one example, and the other example that I mentioned in my slide is Daksha Prajapati. So again with Daksha as well, he got angry because in that Sabha, Lord Shiva, he did not stand up. And with him, the question would be, was Daksha, he was he upset because dharma was violated or because his prestige was violated? We all know the answer for that. Again, the same, it's the same theme that he felt that he was disrespected in that assembly of people. And this is something like that made me think about that false prestige. It sometimes disguise itself as righteousness, that I have done this, so this should be done for me. Or I am on this position, so this is something I should get. So this is something that came to my head when, like when I was when Jagannath Gopal Prabhu he was mentioning that point of, although he mentioned it in the right mood, like detachment wala mood, but when I was thinking for it, like if I start thinking that yeah I have done this, so as a reciprocation, the I should have a seat. Like I should get this chance to like attend Maharaj's lecture. So it can come the false prestige again. Like the point Prabhuji mentioned is entirely different. But when he was talking, this thing came to my head, and yeah, I had this in the slide that the false prestige, it can cover itself in righteousness or the right principles, and sometimes we might say I'm defending my own morals and principles. This should have been done this way, and sometimes like if we go underlying, it could be our ego that is something we are trying to defend or cover. Like like for myself, if I try to reflect it, so many times I try to like find fault or something like that, and I think I'm doing it to like protect my principles or follow my morals, my own morals and principles. However, again, when I was thinking about this and preparing for this, I could see that on the surface, it appears for me like I am so strong on my principles and morals. However, again, it's the identity of my own ego, of my own false prestige, of my own controllership that I'm trying to protect. So, yeah, that also came to my head. Like, I really like the connection of the example of Daksha and the disguise of false prestige as righteousness. So before going ahead, I'm just left with two more slides. So I was also listening to Haldar Swami Maharaj, and before going to that, just quickly, this is something that Satsarup Maharaj he mentions that remembering that something that is also one of the vows, or we say after like the four vows, the four regulative principles in chanting 16 round, that to serve in the humble mood, to serve the mood mission of Srila Prabhupada and Mahaprabhu in the mood of servant of the servant of the servant. So that mood, the servant of the servant of Vaishnavas and God, it has, and by the grace of Guru and Krishna, it has gained that it is like it's a there is a reason for having that as one of the vows during the initiation. So coming into that mood, like in the mood of humility, in the mood as servants, like calling ourselves or getting that title as Das or Dasi has a reason, like coming into that mood of humility. Or even like this is from Haldar Maharaj's class that I heard was about paying obeisances. Like paying obeisances is so important in our devotional life, Vaishnav community, that it's through paying obeisances we offer our humble respects to the other person. And Krishna, he mentions to Uddhava as well, like that you should even pay obeisances to the dogs. So again, Krishna is within everyone, and a person who is at Uttamadhikari level, he is able to see Krishna within the heart of every single animate and inanimate object. So Maharaj, he was mentioning that one of the classes he heard from another Maharaj in Navadvip, he mentioned that like it doesn't mean that tomorrow you'll go and go straight and fall like danda in front of a dog. It's a mansik seva, and plus offering those respect, offering that respect to every being we see. So again, it cannot develop immediately, but trying to imbibe that mood, trying to like get into that mood of actually like developing that humility, knowing that everything is because of Krishna and Krishna is the supreme controller. And when someone comes in that mood, like the servant of God, and someone comes into this devotional life and Gaudiya Parampara. So they become a confidential associate of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and to associate with genuine devotees and to come under that guru disciplic succession, to be allowed in, to live in Krishna's temple or to visit his temples and to serve the deities or to see the deities, to be engaged in highest, it is to be engaged in highest welfare work for humanity. These are all admirable assets, like these are all something that that are prestigious. And however, again, a pure devotee, he'll consider such assets, he will consider these as a great assets, but he'll know, like he will have that thought constantly, he'll have that realization constantly that everything is through the mercy of Krishna, and it's not something he has earned. Like being a devotee, he's not earned being a devotee, but it is simply by, it's not by his hard work or personal success or the services related, it's by the causeless mercy of Krishna as well. There are some chats. The essence of Srimad Bhagavatam is Nam and Pranam. The last verse of Srimad Bhagavatam is saying Nam Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranamo Dukha Shamanas Shamanas Tam Namami Harim Param. Jai. Vijay, would you like to? Okay, yeah. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord Hari, the congregational chanting of whose holy name destroys all sinful reactions, and the offering of obeisances unto whom relieves all material suffering. Yeah, thank you very much for sharing that, Prabhuji. So yeah, Haldar Swami Maharaj, and so many times, even it was Srila Haridas Thakur or Sanatan Goswami who offered like so many obeisances per day. Who was it, Prabhuji? Was it Haridas Thakur, Srila Haridas Thakur, who would
Raghunath Das
off
Goswami.
Raghunath Das Goswami? Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah. He would offer how many obeisances per day, Prabhuji? Was it lakhs or thousands?
Said thousands, but yeah, he would offer to everyone who entered the Dham.
Hmm. So yeah, the and yeah, even while paying obeisances, this is one point I would like to mention. And yeah, then I would like we would like to hear from Lekhaka. So Maharaj, he mentioned even while paying the obeisances, the mood, it matters a lot. Like most of the times, some of us or many of us might like keep praying like Krishna, please do this for me or my family or this person or that person. But sometimes, like whenever we are conscious or aware, we need to like, we as much as we can trying to like remember Krishna in that moment, genuinely praying our obeisances, even if we are paying that obeisances to that person or someone, like genuinely trying to remember Krishna in their heart as the super soul, and expressing our gratitude and our sincere respects and love to him while paying obeisances, even when we are offering our pranam mantras to Srila Prabhupada or Guru Maharaj. So yeah, trying to remember Krishna in those moments and trying to offer our all like heartily obeisances and love and respects to them. Yes, Lekhaka.
Hi, Krishna Nupur. I was just wondering about paying obeisances to, for example, like you mentioned about, okay, at least we offer manasik obeisances to animals like dogs. So I was just trying to understand what that means. Is that so? For example, when we enter a sangha, we know that that place commands a certain respect. Like we offer obeisances, and it is also like offering obeisances to another human is like we are practicing to how to be humble. But in terms of like animals or like what does it mean? Is there an action that is associated with it? For example, we see dogs, and usually when we see stray dogs, we take pity on them. We try to like feed them biscuits. But what does offering obeisances to other living beings mean in that sense? I was just very curious if you can share more words on that.
Yeah, I love the question, and I do not have the best answer, and I would love to hear from the rest of us. The only part that I heard and I understood, what I understood was, I do not know, I could be wrong with this, is what Maharaj was mentioning is like seeing Krishna in everyone's heart, in every inanimate's heart. And Krishna, he mentions that I am in the heart of every living being. He mentions that to Uddhava, and he mentions that in Bhagavad Gita as well, if I'm not wrong. So, yeah, so what Maharaj meant
Mm.
was that paying that, like having, developing that compassion toward that, as you were
Mm.
mentioning,
I
and
see.
paying those respects to that,
Mm.
to the super soul residing in the heart of that dog. And again, like out of that genuine compassion and humility and love for that living being and for the supreme personality of Godhead, praying for them, their soul as well, and but just being respectful as well, like not
Right. Mm. Mm.
downgrading or thinking them as lower selves. But yeah, I would
Ah,
really like to
I see.
hear
I
from,
see.
yeah, the rest of us,
Mm.
like what exactly would it mean for them, like how do they understand this point of
Yeah.
offering, like giving respect to all living beings. Do you have any thoughts, Jagannath Gopal Prabhu?
So giving respects to all living beings, right? That is the question. Did I miss any specific part of it, Lekha Mataji? Can you?
Um, yeah, Prabhuji, I was just wondering what like was there anything that was entailing offering so there was a statement that we offer obeisances even for a dog manasikally. I think like one explanation that Nupur gave, it makes so much sense, like being compassionate, like not harming other living beings because of our own selfish reasons, like meat eating or like cutting trees for land, etc. But I was trying to understand what does that mean? Like I was just trying to understand that statement.
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree with what Nupur said. It's um like we have to we respect on on one level, which is on the spirit level, but at the same time we understand that there is vyavaharik, like there are two things, right? Vyavaharik and paramarthik. Vyavaharik is how we deal as per time, place, and circumstance, and paramarthik is what is the ultimate reality. So, from a paramarthik sense, yes, we respect everybody, we respect the germs, we respect everyone in the sense that yes, they are also parts of Krishna. But at the same time, on a vyavaharik level, we have to deal accordingly, and that discrimination has to be there, and it is nothing wrong in one sense also, because it's a shastric principle. Krishneti यस्य गिरितं मनसा ध्रियेत दीक्षास्ति चेत प्रणतिभिश्च भजन्तं ईशम. So NOI 5, Nectar of Instruction, 5th verse, it talks about how to respect three levels of devotees. For one who chants the holy names, respect mentally. For one who has taken initiation, offer obeisance. And for one who has perfected the path of spiritual life and has zero tendency to criticize others, for such persons we give our whole heart, we render service unto them. So this now it's not that we don't see we don't respect the first category. We respect the first category on a paramarthic level, but at the same time on a vyavaharik level we make a discrimination. So it's not just about respecting them, it's also about respecting ourselves also, and seeing how we can act in a way that is conducive to our own growth. So it's not that in the name of respect, I'll go and hug a tiger. Um, yeah.
Got yes, Prabhuji. Okay, got it, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Prabhuji, what verse was that? In Nectar of Instructions,
So fifth verse.
fifth verse. Okay, Prabhu. Thank you.
Sorry, I'm not in the zone today, so I don't know what I'm talking, but I'm just trying something.
That was nice, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for mentioning the two parts. I don't remember the Sanskrit part of those part. That is really
Vyavaharik and Paramarthik.
Vyavaharik and Paramatma.
It is spoken
So
in
yeah,
terms
this
of activities, like some are Vyavaharik, some are conditional, some are constant.
mm,
Anyway, that's a tangent. Go ahead, Ma.
yeah, thank you for mentioning those, Prabhuji. So yeah, this was the verse where Krishna said to Uddhava, like disregarding the ridicule of one's companion, one should give up the bodily conception and its accompanying embarrassment. One should offer obeisances before all, even the dogs, outcasts, cows, and asses, falling flat upon the ground like a rod. It's SP 112916. And Prabhupada, he mentions in the purport that one should not foolishly think that cow or ass is God, but rather the devotees see the Supreme Lord within all creatures, and on this higher spiritual plane, he does not discriminate. Again, the point of discrimination and categorizing based on like different positions or different species comes in here, like races, religions we were initially talking about. So yeah, this is one point. So yeah, Tikaka, do you have any follow-ups? Thank you for asking that question. It was a wonderful question.
Yeah, no, thank you, Nupur. No follow up. I think yeah, just was curious. Like, thank
Yeah,
you for bringing that up as a part of your discussion, referring.
thank you. So yeah, last slide that I have is that bhakti is so sweet that even the smallest act in devotional service, such as polishing the brass, doing backup, like cleaning the utensils during that time, the brass objects or in the Lord's altar, it's more, way more prestigious than any prestigious non-devotional act, because by polishing, for example, by polishing the Lord's paraphernalia, a devotee he can please the Supreme Lord, and even little things like Krishna is pleased even by the smallest thing done with the loving intention, compassionate intention. And when Krishna is pleased, the whole universe is pleased, and the devotee becomes honored among saintly people. Like this is what Maharaj mentions throughout the three material worlds and the spiritual world. So, yeah, I had this picture of Saraswati pleasing the Lord at 2:33 a.m., preparing for the boat festival. So there was one prayer that Satsarup Maharaj mentions by the end of this. He says that, O Savior of the fallen, please don't kick me away, but allow me to serve your servants. I am a rascal possessed by material desires, and I'm falsely taking credits for things which are yours, not mine. Please deliver me. So yeah, he shared this like during those times when we lose false prestige, like when we are in those sad times, or when we realize that we the false prestige or the prestige is getting to our heads, like offering these prayers to Krishna, we as like Krishna's servants, as devotees, as trying to be aspiring devotees, we rely so much on prayers. So yeah, that was one prayer that he mentioned. Can share that on the group as well later. So yeah, that's all I had. Thank you so much, dear devotees, for your participation and for tolerating me. I said it won't be that long, but I did stretch it. too much. So yeah, thank you very much for your patience and thank you very much. हरि बोल. हो गया अभी प्रोजेक्ट मेरा.
It was very nice, Ma. You should have more confidence in what you are going to offer. It was very nice, so nicely researched, such relevant questions, Shastric examples, and so many thoughts that devotees also brought forth. Um, so it's very nice. Thank you for doing this despite so many things going on with you, the whole 60th week, and so many sevas constantly. It's very grateful to you for doing this.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I'm sorry for not doing justice to it.
You don't worry about it. I mean, you did do justice to it. I mean, I'm not just saying to pacify you. I'm saying genuinely, you did do justice to it. And the class getting over doesn't mean you can't do justice to it further. You can do justice to it for yourself by contemplating even more on this topic,
Mm.
trying to do mananam. Now, in fact, now you don't have an agenda of giving a class. So now the mananam, the contemplation is going to be even more open and even more organic. When you have,
We wish, Prabhuji.
sorry,
We wish.
it will be. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But thank you very much for this opportunity. And yeah, very grateful to all of you for bringing those amazing points. Yeah. All the points that, and all the questions as well, they really help to like churn it more.
Okay. Any other thoughts, dear devotees? There are a few comments on the chat. Thanks, Nupur, for leading the discussion. It was relevant and practical, definitely. And then Lekha Mataji, it was a really thought-provoking question and so much to think about dealing with the ego inflation. Yeah, precisely.
Hare Krishna, just came to my mind that it's a big topic, right? That not to desire any respect for himself or herself. Any pointers like what to do that we feel that way? That if we are disrespected or not valued, how to be in that position, in that state of mind. Right, that's something that. And another point that came to my mind was all these big personalities like Prajapati, Durvasha Muni, Indra, king of the Devatas, or many more. They were born. They were in Satyuga, all of them, and they were very accomplished. Lived very close to Krishna. They were Krishna conscious. They were not able to overcome, egos. So, what to speak of us who are born in a Kali Yuga? Right? So, is it very tall order to be at a state that we want to be? Right? What kind of sadhana is needed? I know devotees, of course, Krishna in the center, but being in the samsara, surrounded by Maya, uh, what are the takeaways? Just a couple of takeaways that how to stay grounded and not be affected by
Hmm.
that.
Yeah, very powerful questions, Mataji. Yeah, from the second question, from what I understood, is that these characters or these characteristics of Indradev or Durvasa Muni or these pastimes like little Leelas, they are what I have understood so far, and I would really like Prabhuji or Mataji to correct me on this, that these are the examples that even the higher, like personality on higher level, they can lose their like these qualities, or they can come under the influence of illusion or maya, like uh, For example, Durvas Muni getting offended by Ambarish Maharaj or Daksha Prajapati. So these are the examples that, for me, they are hope giving personally, that even they can come, like, it's not like putting them on a lower level. They are advanced devotees, but if they can lose in that moment of time, lose that bhakti or that quality of devotee in that moment of time, and Krishna still forgives, and Krishna does not reject them, and Krishna still forgives and reminds them of his presence. So for me, that is very hope giving as well. Like, again, like as that prayer said, that please do not kick me away. So Krishna did not reject Lord Indra or Daksha Prajapati or Durvasa Muni in all these like pastimes. Krishna, he reminds them of himself and he lovingly accepts them as well. Daksha Prajapati, I'm not able to remember like how that goes ahead. I remember Chimal Gopal Prabhu, if he can add like, I don't remember like how that ends. Like if Daksha Prajapati he goes into repentance mode or something. I yeah, I cannot remember.
Yeah, I don't know if so in that life definitely he doesn't that, or maybe he does, I don't remember. He offends Lord Shiva, then in his next life he again offends Narad Muni also.
He
So
gets a head of a goat,
Oh, yeah.
and in the same life, and then he repents. Actually, in that he becomes a devotee. Um,
oh,
Thank you,
yeah.
Mataji. Yeah. Would you like to add something to this, Mataji? Like, how do we understand these examples and the
Um,
whole ones?
yeah. Like on a case by case basis, like being honest to ourselves and being vulnerable and sharing with with someone who can hear us non-judgmentally. I think that itself will help us. I think, when we go through something and when we've done something that, um, that um, it's out of false prestige or out of pride, then we can look into, like honestly just going to the deities or even to our, the Lord in our heart. Oh Krishna, I did that. I was thinking, I was feeding my ego. Um, like that, just being honestly and vulnerably sharing it with either the Lord in our heart, or best would be to someone, in our
Mm,
close associate or friend who could understand. And yeah, that's something that can help us come out of it. Otherwise, that causes shame, and that goes into a different path.
mm,
Yeah.
Could it be seen in a different way also? Like if at incidents when we are not respected or hurt, and we say we might have hurt someone, so we are getting this back, so nothing to feel bad about. Is that something can help? So it's a reaction of our mask.
Yeah, yeah. But that, mm, as long as that leads us to, um, like to remember, to not feed our ego. Sometimes we think, oh, this is our karma, Prabhuji, our karma, Mataji. We might hide under the rug, things, sweep things under the rug, saying in the name of karma. But if we can come out and be a little bit open, yeah. I mean, there are many ways. Only we know how Like, instead of saying that these things happen to us, lately I've just realizing that, realizing that things happen within us, like, to notice what's happening within us instead of thinking, oh, this happened to me. I think that is more useful for our growth. One is victimization, another one is taking responsibility.
Right.
Yeah,
Thank you, Mataji.
that's just my Hare Krishna.
Very,
Okay.
yeah, very powerful and something to like reflect more upon. Yeah, just quickly mentioning, even Jad Bharat, he did everything to stay away from false prestige. Was it Jad Bharat or Bharat Maharaj? Sorry, I'm getting confused and mixing up my words. So yeah, Bharat Maharaj, he tried everything to stay away from false prestige and tried to like stay far, far, far away from people. And again, with that intention to like stay away from not developing any kind of false prestige. And then subtly, like even with the thought that I'm trying to help this deer, slow by slow, that false prestige that I am the caretaker of this deer, it came in, it creeped in. So all these examples of highly advanced devotees or devotees on that highly advanced path, these are what I see them as, like the kind of, again, like not to bring them down in any manner, still like respecting them as the advanced devotees or as the loving devotees of the Lord. But yeah, getting like hopes and seeing how merciful the Lord is to like not reject anyone and still accept and love all of us.
Yeah, very subtle, right? Oh, I'm such a nice devotee, I'm taking care of the deer, not knowing that. Yeah, it's very subtle, but
Yeah,
it gets to us. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, very, very good point.
yeah. Thank you so much, Mataji, for your question. Thank you, Nitya Mataji, for saving me.
Thank you. It was a good topic. Actually, it's a very kind of you know looking inside and see where I am on the radar. So it's a good kind of um, topic to constantly ask yourself, where am I? Where I need to go. So thank you for the topic. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. We
Great.
can end here. Panchakalpatarubhascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna
Thank
Parama.
you.
Hare Krishna.
Jai.